Lydell Mitchell was a beast. A multi-sport athlete, Mitchell excelled on the gridiron, baseball diamond, hardwood, and track at Salem High School in New Jersey, and his all-state pedigree would garner recruitment efforts from across the country. Initially preferring Ohio State and Maryland, Mitchell would change course and accept a scholarship to Penn State after a meeting with the Nittany Lions coaching staff left him feeling inspired, a decision which proved wise, as Mitchell would be paired with future Hall of Famer Franco Harris to form one of the most outstanding backfields in college football history. In a timeshare during his first 2 years, Mitchell made the most of every opportunity, averaging nearly 5.6 yards per carry and scoring 12 touchdowns. However, it would be his final season that truly put him on the map and cemented his status as one of the greatest running backs in Penn State history, breaking out for a remarkable 1,567 yards and 29 total touchdowns. He led the nation in total points scored, was named a first-team All-American, and finished 5th in Heisman voting. He ended his college career as Penn State's all-time leading rusher, before being drafted by the Baltimore Colts in 1972. Despite being a second-round pick, he saw limited action as a rookie, and waited in the wings while the team brought a close to the Johnny Unitas era. However, things would change in year 2, as the Colts drafted quarterback Burt Jones and generally shifted towards the youth, allowing Mitchell to emerge as a feature back. He finished the year with nearly 1,100 scrimmage yards and 2 total touchdowns. Despite the team still going through transition, the 1974 season would be a noteworthy one for Mitchell, as he firmly established himself as one of the premier dual-threat running backs in the league, highlighted by the final game of the season, where he caught a single-game team record 13 passes, which also secured the NFL lead for receptions. He also led the Colts in rushing for the second straight season and set an NFL record for the most carries in a game with 40. 1975 would be Mitchell's formal breakout, as he would become the first Colt to clear the 1,000-yard rushing mark in a season, running for 1,193 yards. He also caught 60 passes for 544 yards, scored a career-high 15 touchdowns, and was named to his first of 3 consecutive Pro Bowls. His efforts would propel the Colts to a 10-4 record, along with the playoff berth, where he and Baltimore would square off against the Steelers and his former college running mate, Franco Harris. The Colts would begin the game behind the 8 ball, as quarterback Burt Jones would be forced to exit after hurting his throwing shoulder on a scramble during the first series. With the offense sputtering under backup quarterback Marty Domray's command, Mitchell would consequently be leaned on heavily, seeing a whopping 30 touches, but it wouldn't translate to much production, as the steel curtain would limit him to 83 total yards, no touchdowns, and a meager 2.4 yards per carry. Pittsburgh would win 28-10, but Baltimore had made their presence felt, and were viewed as a team on the rise. Firmly in his prime, Mitchell's 5th season would arguably be his best, rushing for a career-high 1,200 yards and nabbing another 60 balls for an additional 555 yards. He was named a second-team All-Pro and helped Baltimore finish atop the AFC East for the second straight season. He and the Colts would have an opportunity to make amends for their previous year's playoff performance, as they once again met Harris and the Steelers in the divisional round. While Mitchell was able to turn out a slightly more productive outing, the improvement was marginal, and the Colts would once again fall to Pittsburgh, losing 40-14. 1977 would be another All-Pro season for Mitchell, as he cleared the 1,000-yard rushing mark for the 3rd straight season, and once again led the league in receptions, unheard of for a running back during that time. The Colts would make the playoffs for the 3rd straight season and nearly turn the tide on their postseason luck, but history would once again repeat itself. Only this time, they would lose in devastating fashion to the Oakland Raiders in a double overtime thriller, a game which has become famous for Oakland tight end Dave Casper's performance, namely his ghost to the post pattern that set up the field goal which sent the game into overtime. The loss would be a turning point for both the Colts and Mitchell, with the latter holding out for a new contract just as Baltimore began to dismantle. Mitchell ultimately ended up being traded to the San Diego Chargers in 1978, but left the Colts as the all-time leading rusher, surpassing Lenny Moore, another legendary former Penn State running back who ironically also had his Nittany Lion rushing record broken by Mitchell. Once in San Diego, the versatile star picked up where he left off, leading the team in rushing and receptions in his first year, while helping to usher in the Don Coryell era. Things would unfortunately take a turn after Mitchell suffered a knee injury, which required surgery, following the season. The issue lingered into 1979 and limited him for most of the year. By the time he was healthy, he had been leapfrogged on the depth chart, and there had been a fundamental shift in offense, as Don Coryell's famous aerial attack style of play was in full swing. Mitchell would be released after the year and signed on with the Rams for the tail end of the 1980 season before calling it a career. Lydell Mitchell's prowess as a receiver was largely unprecedented for a running back. He is still the third all-time leading rusher in Colts history and 8th in scrimmage yards. An offensive weapon, Mitchell's elusive running style earned him the nickname Lydell, and like other multi-talented runners of his era, he helped redefine the role of a running back. I want to thank you for watching, and I would love to hear your thoughts on Lydell Mitchell and whether or not he did enough to warrant Hall of Fame consideration.